and loyal to a fault when your back is up against the wall. For the Empire, none more loyal and damn proud of it. We gave it our laws, we gave it the Senate, we gave it bloody scar-sins, but let's not dwell on it. 3 people, 1 nation, sounds confusing, let me give an explanation. 3 into 1 made stronger as a whole, from alliance was formed our nation's soul. Now it's said we're bloodthirsty and that we're too aggressive, and it's true, but we're trying to be a little more progressive. Look at Sigvald there, the most civil man that I know. It's been 3 days since he fucked a war rhino. You don't get us, I can see it in your eyes, but we're 7 kinds of special, so it comes as no surprise. Let me break it down, take it one by one, and tell you of our people through the medium of song. Cause when the war drums sound and the Empire calls and the banners rise and the axe blow falls and a nation sings its battle song, 10,000 voices rise as one, and we sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark, sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark. Down from the tundra, out of the snow, where even the Wintermark is fear to go, from Ika's tears to the howling gale of Sidanya. Ice walkers, beast stalkers, masters of the riddle and the fireside tale, with eyes so sharp and minds so cunning, they'll kill you with the arrow that you never saw coming. It's the Suak! Heart of the nation, born on the ice floes, forgotten more lore than anyone else knows. When the storm breaks and the foemen stir, you'll see that real heroes wear fur. Cause when the war drums sound and the Empire calls and the banners rise and the axe blow falls, then a nation sings its battle song. 10,000 voices rise as one, and we sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark, sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark. From the marsh and the swamplands, they rise. They'll listen to your stories, but they'll tear apart your lies. Cause wisdom isn't knowledge, wisdom isn't guessing, wisdom is interpreting the world so you can understand the lesson. They're the soul of the nation, keepers of the dead, whispering in ears, knowing what's said with a quiet little word, a gentle little nudge, or an axe to the face if you still won't budge. Calabasi! You wanna know your skine, you wanna know the way, you wanna fight clever and not throw your life away. Well, let me tell you something that the wise man knows. You got a problem? You take it to the crows. Cause when the war drums sound and the Empire calls and the banners rise and the axe blow falls, then a nation sings its battle song. 10,000 voices rise as one, and we sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark, sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark. 3 people, 1 nation, that's what I heard. I've told you of the first 2, but where the fuck's the third? Well, don't look at me, it's not my blunder. Wait, does anybody else hear thunder? Well, think fast, cause the end is near. We're gonna need a miracle to see another year. We need a wall of shields, we need a wall of spears, and we need warriors who know no fear. Mail-clad heroes unafraid to die. Oh shit, what's that falling from the sky? It's the Steiner! Fist of the nation, bringing on the pain, with iron in their hearts and steel in their veins. 3 people, 1...
Hi everyone, how you all doing? Hope you're doing well in this hotness. It's warm, so I hope you're all chilled, got a drink, and everyone's having a good evening. Apologies for not streaming last week. I was a bit under the weather, so I didn't do anything at all because I couldn't be bothered. I did not have the energy. So it was just a bit of a chill out, so I'm hopefully going to get back into it. Wintermark. This is, I could probably do like 8 of these on Wintermark, I reckon. The biggest nation, some would say the best nation. No subscription notification. Yeah, I think I've lost like 7 subscribers, but it happens. So if you got your Amazon Prime thing, you know what to do. So it should be an interesting one. So if you've got questions, ask away. These all go up onto YouTube. As we all know, I can talk crap for hours on end. So we have the wonderful volunteer Evelyn. who has Evelyn. Ooh, you're very quiet. I can't hear you.
I don't know why I'm very quiet. Hang on, I'll just speak louder.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. How is it Evelyn or Evelyn?
Evelyn.
Evelyn, excellent. So yeah, if there are any audio issues, then please just say, and we will do everything that we can for you. So, how long have you been playing Empire for, Evelyn?
I started at the autumn event at E4 in 2017, but then I had a year. I studied abroad for a year, so I actually disappeared for a year and came back. So my second event, I'd been away for a while, so it was kind of like having my first event again.
Yeah.
Except I'd had all that extra time to read the wiki, so now it was like I was new all over again, but so much more knowledgeable on to do with the world.
Good. So you're the expert on the wiki and expert on Wintermark, because I know fuck all, and I'm in Wintermark.
I'm gonna have to open the wiki in another tab now.
Brilliant. So what drew you to Wintermark then? First of all, let's say that.
Well, the truth is, I've got the same story as quite a few Wintermark people, in that I went to Wintermark because my friends were Wintermark, and we wanted to be together. Their first time as well, but they were going Wintermark, and we were all new. We wanted to go together. Otherwise, I would have probably chosen the Brass Coast. But within the Wintermark brief, I can tell you what drew me to Calavasi, because when I read that, I was like, ooh, I like this one.
This should be quite an interesting discussion then, because I'm playing I'm a Calavasi as well, but I think it's going to be very different parts of the brief. I feel that drew us to Calavasi. They're saying you're still a little bit quiet in chat. If you change your mic settings, if you're able to turn yourself up a bit. John has just said, which of the three Wintermark nations is the best? Wulfric, Svan, or Bjorn? John's getting a kick in. John's Navari's dead. Coming for you.
Oh wait, hang on. Louder now.
Oh. Yeah, you sound you sound fine to me, but I'm listening to you through Discord, where everyone else will be listening to you through Twitch. So we'll carry on, and we'll see if they say anything else. And Moobot has just... Yeah, I've got that, so for when I run competitions and stuff like that, but I need to figure out how to use it. So Moobot's fine. Yeah, so what drew you to Calavasi then?
Really like the aesthetic of it, that it's a bit sort of spooky and very natural, like the marshes and the swamps, and very like this sort of shamanic, very the Iron Age element to it, and how spooky they are. And I really love, I'm really drawn to the night magic, so I'm a night mage.
Right, okay.
It really fits very well together with that.
Excellent. So I think that's you're echoing what a lot of people say about the Calavasi. They're drawn to the more shamanistic and the magic and the I can't think of the word. Having a moment. Mystical. Yeah, we'll just go with that. That sort of side of it. I liked the totemic side of it. The animal totemic side of it. I like the combat brief for the Calavasi of they'll think about it and they'll go in and they'll go hard and nothing will stop them. And I love that. And I really, as a very militaristic sort of character, nutter to be honest, it works. So I'm sort of going Calavasi berserker, but I'm sort of moving away from the traditional like Viking berserker look and feel to making it more of a mystical side of it. So it's
You have this whole like attitude as well of like once you make a decision, you should stick to it.
yeah.
Plays into that a bit, I think.
Yeah. So Rachel has asked, for the sake of noobishness, who are the Calavesi, Steiner, and Suak, and what makes them fundamentally different? The spelling, for a start. You read the wiki a lot more than I do when it comes to by the sounds of things. So, do you want to field that one?
So, from a historical standpoint, the context for the three, if you like, the three peoples become one nation. Three peoples, one nation. They were three peoples, and the Suak and Calavesi even were against each other at some point in the past. So they each have their own distinct history before they come together, which is separate from one another, where their origins. So they believe that the Suak were born from the Suak, the mother of all the Suak.
Yeah.
Half the children were turned into seals so that the other half could eat them and to survive. So that's part of their heritage. They believe that, or at least the traditionalists in these ones. Not everyone. Some people think these are like cool metaphors, and some people really think it's true in the game. And so the Calavesi belief is that a raven or a crow, I can't remember, flew over the swamp, and the feathers like shed and fell into the swamp, and then they grew and turned into the Calavesi people, the wise. Whereas the Suak are like the cunning hunters, Calavesi are the wise mystics. Steiner appeared, and the mythos with the Steiner is that they sort of fell from the sky. Like falling stars kind of thing, and they're the very brave one. They have a historical connection with the Vard from Varushka as well, so visually all three have very different styles, but also the key personalities is that the Suak is cunning, the Calavesi are wise, and the Steiner are brave.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I agree. I don't. I do have a clue. It was when I joined Wintermark, I was speaking to the Steiner egregore because the feather egregore she wasn't there. So and basically they just sent me off, and he just said find out more about the Calavesi, and I'm going to ask you a load of questions about them, and then you can come back and that will decide whether or not we let you into the nation. I was like, oh, okay. So I went off and asked all the Calavesi all the questions I could, and I came back and he said, right, so tell me about the Calavesi. And I went, no one's got a clue. He was like, what? I said, no one has any idea, mate. I said, no one has any idea. I said, so that just means I don't know enough. And I said, but I'm willing to learn, and I need to speak to more people because I know a lot of people aren't here at the moment. And he was just like, yeah, that's a wise enough decision for me. And that was it. Look, but it was. I spoke to quite a lot of Calavesi at the time, but it was great. It was really good because I got to run off and I got to have a long chat with quite a few people, and it was nice. So I did enjoy that. Ben's asked, what do you think is behind Wintermark being the most popular nation by a long way? Well, there's I think the simple answer to that one is other well-known YouTubers. So Mark Humes and Tabletop Weekly and Hat Films. They drew a lot of interest into it all. But I think the last year, popular cultural reference, definitely. So they helped a lot, and a lot of people turned up. And I think for like a year of them Mark doing his videos, there was a lot of interest there, and it was really, really good for the game. But I think after he's sort of died down with doing the videos, other people have sort of stepped in to do it more. So it's become LARP is going through a I don't want to say cultural growth. It's, as a hobby, it's really growing. I can say, I mean, especially since I've started doing these streams. Pepinford's hit the nail on the head there. Mainstreaming. It's I've noticed it since I've started doing these streams, and I upload everything to YouTube. I get messages from people saying, what do you think of this, this, and this? And I notice that there is a lot of passion about LARP, not just Empire either. I mean, obviously, Empire is the one that we will all have in common. But you've got LTCP, you've got Conquest in Germany as well. There's one called, I talked to people. Oh no! And it's because they're not doing it, are they? Now it's next year. They've all been put off too, from what I read.
And
oof. So yeah, I want to go to it as well. But I've been talking to some people who do one in America called Two Faces, which seems quite popular. Seems to be a very popular one as well. So it's all. So I think that has led to it all. And when people look at Wintermark, instead of having, like, within a lot of other nations where they've got, this is the brief, this is the brief, this is the brief, within Wintermark you've got, these are your briefs. So they hold them like a pair of pants or something, it sounded like that. It was, so there's more to choose from. So I think it's, you can take it all. So I'm 39, I get to throw all the dad jokes I want into these streams, it's great.
second to get it.
Briefs, it was good. So I think there's a lot of different factors there, but Mark Humes, Tabletop Weekly and the Hat Films guys, they did a lot for Empire, especially. I think when they did it, I think the game grew by like 1,000 people very quickly because of them. So, but that's just me spitballing. But I'm quite biased about the Hat Film.
My friend who invited me, I think he actually found out about it on YouTube as well. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm fairly sure that was probably how he knew.
Oh, what, from Tabletop Weekly and Hat Films?
So, I mean, I should probably double check and ask him, but I have a good feeling that's how he found out.
Yeah, so it's also with Wintermark and I'd say the Navarre as well, probably the easiest to get kit for too. Helen has said, I'd say ease of kit access, and that essentially it's 3 nations roped together, so it's just very diverse in play. So yeah, so we just echoed everything Helen said there as well. So it's all, so there's a lot of things like that, and the great thing as well is that when you get into Wintermark, what I love about it is when you're in the field, is that you can look around, and even though you've got the groups sort of camped together, you can see, it's very easy to see who's Calavesi, who's Surak, who's Steiner as well. Apart from when you look at my character Mac, he just looks like a hobo that needs to probably be left out in a barn to die or something. But he's very, he's just his own thing, Mac. But I need to do a lot better with my kit for Mac, to be honest, especially for Calavesi. So John said it's also arguably easiest to get kit for, most common thing for brief. Also most Viking-like of the nation, and I know that's appealing to a lot of people. And Ben has realised I've got merch on. Yeah, my channel now has merch. So,
Merch as well. That looks really good.
Is what that? Sorry, say it again. Hang on. So, it's also noticeable that analytics of YouTube points to a core group of about 50,000 viewers worldwide who watch the same material. We're now seeing steady growth outside this core viewership with different channels, audiences across a myriad of platforms. This is probably why they are growing. There are growing pains across LARP at the moment. Yeah, I think it's. But I think that's going to be one of the. I think that's a good thing for LARP in general, is that we're growing and a lot of people are coming along. But it does mean that social media awareness, people awareness has to grow as well. So I'm not going to get drawn on the incidents that have happened on the Empire boards because they've been dealt with. We as a community and PD, we all need to learn how to grow and change from all of it and learn from all of this. Because at the end of the day, it's something that I like to say, let PD handle the dick. It's a big thing. If there's something wrong, get a PD, let them deal with it. And that's it, because no one should have to put up with anything like that. So that's my serious talk done. So what's been the most surprising thing for you in the field then? What's since you've been playing, what's been the thing about Wintermark that's made you go, oh, I've made the right choice in joining Wintermark. I really love it here. What's been something that stands out to you?
For parties. Oh, they are so much fun. I've actually only done. I've done kind of. One of them I was a not so sober witness for because I'd already just been for parties going on that night. Actually, should I probably explain what they are first before I get into this, in case anyone doesn't know what that is?
They all know that Mac is a drug addict, takes a lot of drugs, and so Goose Whisper has come up a lot. We have had a few streams where we've discussed other legal drugs as well, all in character, obviously. So yeah, feel free to explain what a Goose Whisper party is. I don't think we've actually touched on it in that form.
The Goose Whisper gives you a vision, something that is happening, will happen, or could happen. And a Goose Whisper party is where a group of people take Whisper. It's exactly what it sounds like. The special thing about when a group of Calavesi do it is that they share the vision. Normally, when you take Goose Whisper, each individual has their own vision, but when Calavesi do it, they share one. And I've only done 2 shared Goose Whisper visions at Empire. So I mean, I'm guessing that they're usually somewhat similar to this, but the ones I saw were epic. They had NPCs coming and doing stuff, smoke machines. It was so cool. So we actually saw the vision. Like, we didn't just have to role play that we saw it and pretend we saw it. We actually saw it, and everybody saw the same thing together. The one that I did was at E4, the last event.
Yeah.
And did you go and do the oh gosh, what's it called? We were 8 and we actually went back to Calavesa. I can't remember the word, but the thing.
I can't remember what it was called. You know what it was called? No?
Actual event called the Raven's Dream.
That was it. Yeah. Yeah, I did that, yeah.
Dream. A bunch of us went and did that. We had all these different masked figures. We could actually interact with vision this time, which meant that not everybody did get the same vision. We all were there, but some people asked the figures different questions and saw different things, and it was super, so cool. Like, conversations that were had there were just really epic. Oh, it's so fun. We got given these special effect cards afterwards to say that sort of a more lasting event, like after the vision ended, would be that you this strong feeling that all problems should be dealt with according to tradition. Be interpreted different ways. This played very well into my out of character desires for my character.
Yeah.
Because I want her to go. She's really, really deeply in Calavesi tradition in a somewhat sketchy manner.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want to. Everyone knows here that this is all majority of the stuff. If it's known, if it's common knowledge in the field, then it's great. If it's personal stuff about your character, then we don't tend to treat it as common knowledge. But yeah, that was a great thing. That's not a common thing, the way that they do that. It was really, really good. I lost out on some very juicy bits of plot there, because I'm not going to name the player, but some very, very greedy player, as one of the people with a plot device came walking towards me. He was focused on my eyes, and I was just there thinking, excellent. And he came right towards me. He was gonna shout at me. It was gonna be amazing. I was gonna love every second of it. And then this other guy just went and stood right in front of me, and the guy gave it all to him instead. And I was just like, "Oh, that was a dick move." So I just listened in, and then went and reacted to it anyway. When we got out of there, I went to deal with it. So it was really good, really atmospheric and stuff, and I did enjoy taking the piss out of people during it, before it, and after it as well, in my character's very, very sarcastic, dry Irish accent. So it went well.
Just before we move on from Goose Whisper, one of the other things I really like about it is I play a Naga character, and it affects Naga even more strongly. So when the vision ends, our is like really, really intense, and then we have like a really bad hangover the next day. And it's funny because I was trying to act out the ones. Oh yeah, I've got such a bad hangover from that Goose Whisper, and my friend was all like, the Goose Whisper, thinking that I was actually hungover.
Yes, the Goose Whisper. Excellent stuff. Awesome. Cheers, Ben. Thanks for the sub. I'll tell people how they can get hold of this merch at the end, so don't worry there, mate. Josh, good to see you, mate. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. I like they do the little Goose Whisper parties in the tent, in the what's it? I can't remember what it's called. The Rookery. That's it. Yeah, and yeah, they get everyone in there, and they're generally packed. So you get a lot of people going along to those, and they're quite fun as well. It's just where they have the card and they throw it all in. Yeah, it all turns up and they throw it to the fire, and there's a bit more smoke and a bit more effects, and then it's all, everyone gets something that PD want to deliver into the game, so it's all going to be proper plot as well, but it's all sort of it is kind of limited to the Calavesi. So I haven't done one of those ones yet. I do take a lot of Goose Whisper though, and other various in-character drugs as well. So all of them legal. I don't do bite because bite's for wussies. So bite's a boring drug.
But I know people who have. I can say this because it's one of my friends a fellow Calavesi friend in my hallmate, spiked another one of our hallmates bite.
Ooh.
Got arrested for it twice. Same event. Well, the first event they confessed. When they did it, they confessed, and they got fined.
Yeah.
And that was for possession of bite. But then the next event after that, they got arrested because they said, well, it wasn't just possession of bite. It was an attempted poisoning because you spiked someone with it.
Yeah.
So puff up again. Their response to me was basically like, I can commit as much crime as I like as long as I've got the funds to pay the fine.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did a stream with a friend of mine, Alec, who's in the militia, and that is pretty much the conclusion that we came to. You can get away with it, most crimes, as long as you can argue that it's virtuous. So it's either virtuous or you got the money to get away with it, and that's it. So it's the way they've done it is brilliant. I love what PD have done with that system, and it's fantastic to watch. And you see other people get away with it, but it's like, as Joshua said, the old virtue defense. Yeah, that one. It's very much, I think, a very good system that if you can justify your actions, you're fine. If you've murdered someone, chances are, even if you can justify it, you're probably still going to get executed for it. So, as he said, this is why you keep a friendly priest around. Yeah. Mac got arrested last event. I think it was like 4 times. It was assault and suspicion of murder, and then suspicion of more assault, basically. And I had to pay out four crowns as a fine for everything. It was great, but
For everything altogether?
well, he didn't do the murder. The assault, he definitely did. Definitely did. When the militiaman came out to him and said, "Did you do this?" He was like, "Yeah." It's like, okay, well, we don't quite know how to respond to someone admitting it immediately. You're just going to go and give him a bit of money. Is that all right? It's like, yeah, that's fine. It's like, should we go and find him now? Yeah, whatever. Let's go. 5 Wintermark's awesome. Thank you, Coffee. I really appreciate that. Cries in Bron. No, this was all my own money. Bron only ever gives me money when I ask for it, really. Bron is the Thane of Hurst Hall, my hall. He is also. It's why I have to be careful when I was talking about the YouTubers, because he is one of the YouTubers as well. So, but it's, yeah, I do love that. You didn't know there were legal ones yet. Twilight is a legal high. Is a legal drug. It gives you a euphoric high. So if you want any of it, the next event, come find me. I have lots of it. So.
Some rituals as well, ritual magic that will make you feel different. There's a night ritual called Freedom of the Soul, which I cast on my friend once. It makes you feel very, very emotional. You feel everything very intensely. You go up and down, and it led to him proposing to my other friend and them getting in character married.
That's interesting.
Saw that coming.
No, I can imagine. I'll have to. I need to make a list, really, of all of that sort of stuff. Liao's the best drug, so I hear. No, mate, you can't even take it. Look, you're an orc. No one likes you, apart from me. I love you. I need to. I want to pass live vision as well. That's going to be interesting. But I think we've gone starting off talking about Wintermark. We've really moved away here.
No, we're just talking about drugs.
Over there somewhere. What's the? I keep on asking about it. I can't remember what it was called, but there is a drug that enables you to see magic.
Magpie infusion.
There we go. That's the one. Yeah, I need to try that one as well, and then go out and hang out by the Reggio.
I got given some, or I bought some. I don't know. For some reason, I had some. And I didn't understand. Said it lets you see magic, and I didn't understand what they meant by that. And I was like in the Senate, like really late at night, when people weren't doing magic anymore, and people were just drinking and talking and stuff. And I was like, time to do drugs. And I pretended to take it, and I opened it up, and it was like, you can see colours when people cast magic. And I was like, I've wasted this.
Yeah.
It's like, it also makes your tongue go numb. And I was walking around going like this, and someone was really worried about me, and I had to say like, no, it's a game effect. I'm actually okay. And then, oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Go and hang out by the Reggio. I think that's going to be one I'm going to do. This coffee has Wintermark is drugs, birds, and shield walls. So we're still on topic. Yeah. So yeah, the Calabasi are known for their drugs as well, and doing a lot of it. And I had Calabasi described to me once as Keith Richards, essentially. I think is that over your head? I couldn't quite tell. Do you know who Keith Richards is? Have you? He was in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. He's a musician. Okay, think Ozzy Osbourne.
I felt like it was someone from a band, and I was just trying to figure. Yes, no, yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah, so it's there's a joke saying that if there's a nuclear holocaust, it'll be only him and the cockroaches left. That's how many drugs he's done. So yeah, he's Google him. So that's Calabasi definitely.
Calabasi wants to get to that.
Yeah. So Farah said, I've only just joined, so if this has already been covered, what part of the Wintermark brief is underplayed, underrepresented, that you think is cool and could be used of more? It's a tough one, that. I think because Wintermark is so big, I think the majority of the brief is used. All the Steiner I've met are very, very proud and that. So the Suak, I love the Suak myself. I couldn't play one, but I think seeing people with the Suak out there at the moment, they've all been fantastic. Oh God, I sound like Trump. Everything's great. You're all fantastic. Then you get the Calabasi. I think because I've really only looked into the Calabasi more than everything else. I think within the Calabasi, I don't see enough, for me personally, like ritual preparation for things. Because it's with the especially with the totemic side of the Calabasi, there's meant to be a lot of prep work and a lot more things like that. Have you had Shaman read your skein? There we go. For me, that is amazing. That was when I had it done.
He's so good at it.
He is incredible. I was the first non-Wintermarker to have his skein read in play. So I'm very, very proud of that. And I've had it read as a Wintermarker now, and nothing changed. So, but I do have to go and tell him a story. So for me, that was Moonchild Majora. Which bit is that true? The first non-Wintermarker? Yes, apparently so, according to Shaman. So, or it might have been the first one that he's read. He's non-Wintermarker. He is read. So, by him, yeah.
He creates a lot of game.
Yes.
Actually, hooked my night couple. Set me like a challenge, which I did, like just a little one. He was all like, because I went up to him and I said, I really want to do night magic, like can you help me? Like, oh, cast this ritual on someone in your hall, which is the same one that led to my friend getting married.
Cool.
And come back to me, and I think I know which coven you should be in. And then later that night, somebody like was looking for me in the darkness, and they somehow found me, though they'd never met me before. And they were like, "Are you Ethel Drader of the Levy?" And I was like, "Oh yes." And I'm from this coven. The shaman told me to look for you, and then I joined the coven. And then there was this big event last year as well with the curse coins, which a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's these really epic, legendary skein readings as well.
Yeah, it is fantastic. So I'm having to scroll back up to read some more of these. And then that Josh has asked if Helen can make these drugs. Yeah. Matt Dawes would. Matt Dawes is the he plays an orc. He is like the king of the wiki. He's really good. I found that in the last couple of years, the three cultures of the Wintermark brief have become much more defined. But I found of late, the drug side of the Calavasi has kind of overshadowed the rest of that culture brief. Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think I help with that, in all honesty. I think the drugs has become a very, very big thing, but I think there are individuals within Wintermark with it who play on it a lot more, and I will agree, I am definitely one of them. As the subject of what part of the brief has been overlooked as above, Wintermark from the outside was pretty much just Steiner. I saw that the other two cultures that have only shone out over the past 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I think when people look at Wintermark, they do just see a lot. They see the Steiner, they see the shield wall in battle, whatever state the shield wall is in that battle currently. It's never a good state, let's be honest. So I just Farrell's just said the Steiner are aliens that fell from the sky. Discuss. I say it's not a question. That's a statement. That's true. Yeah, they're all a bit weird. So yeah, they are very much. We're very, very Steiner. I see a lot more Suak now, I think, in the game than anything.
I've seen a sort of rise in the amount of Suak, which is a good thing, and it makes a lot of sense as well, because there'd be a lot of Suak refugees, so they would come to Anvil. So I feel like that's it looks like people have taken the opportunity and used it, which is a good thing.
Yes, yeah, I completely agree. It's nice to see them. You get some wonderful Suak out there, like you've got Jag in Ashenhall, who's the Thane of Ashenhall, with his nice big coat and stuff like that, and he looks, and all the birds.
Costumes, really love them. Like, I really want a Suak Aki coat.
Yeah.
Like, I like the way I play as a Calavasi. Like, it fits my personality. Like, it's spooky and like that.
Yeah. My daughter is coming along to Empire. She's 11, and we let her look at the wiki and decide what she wanted to do, and she wants to play a Suak. So she's going to be a Suak, and so that'll be an interesting one to see. So she's going to have all the birds and seals and everything and stuff like that. So that would be good. Josh has asked, if you were to play a new character, would you pick another Wintermark brief or change nation?
I'm actually planning to move to the League next. I'm going to be cross-playing as a Leaguish gentleman.
Cool.
I'm going to get a fake beard and mustache, and I'm going to be a very vain changeling from the League, from Sarvos.
Nice, excellent stuff. There's a couple of ladies in the League who play as men, aren't there? That I've seen, and it's.
The thing that would probably stop me from going. Well, I was convinced for the longest time I'd go to Brass Coast next, and then I had the idea for this Sarvos character, and I was like, I have to play him.
Yeah.
The only thing that would to Wintermark before that is because I do have another Calavasi backup concept. There's a few things I really want to do before I let go of this character. If I don't get to do them, then I might if something happens to my character, if she dies or whatever, then I might come back as my backup, just so that I can still do those things that I would really like to do. I'd like to have a sort of nice conclusion to my Wintermark experience before I move on. I don't want to leave things unfinished. No,
of course. John has asked, what advice would you give a new player joining such a massive nation? After all, Urizen have it easy. Simple matter of meeting the other 7 of them. That's a lie. There's 3. I insult most nations while doing this, but it's all in jest. What would you? So what advice? That's a good question. What advice would you give to a new player who's just coming along to Wintermark for the first time?
Say do the usual things like online beforehand, read the wiki and make most of the forums and the Facebook groups. If you've got a question, someone's probably already asked it, so you can just search for the term and read what responses people have already given, because there's like a wealth of stuff already
Yeah,
available. And then if that's not available, then you can ask. Say when it comes to meeting groups, this is a very common piece of advice people give, but it's worthwhile advice. Don't try and find a group to join, a hall to join on Facebook. Come to the event, meet people, because it's always different in person. And
yeah,
it's not just as well whether you out of character, it's also whether you suit them in character. You've got to see what feels right, what clicks. There's no obligation to join a group right away. You can
no,
drift around, do what feels right to you first. My first event was very overwhelming. There was a lot to take in. I was just like, wow. And we were only on one field at that point. um, so if what your first event is going to be like, go to Anvil as a tourist. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You don't
yeah,
necessarily need to have a massive mission right away.
no,
Um, I think once you get, if you already know what you want to do, definitely go and seek that out. It's a really good thing to have. But if you don't, you can find it in play. And Wintermark's a really welcoming place to be a new character, because we have the Wintermark hospitality. It's actually written into the brief that we do welcome people around our fires. We don't ask for any money. Maybe we'll give you a drink. You can come and sit with us. So look for a fire and say, "Hi, can I sit with you?" And people will probably say yes, and you might make some new friends that way.
yeah. That's something I always say on these streams. I think every single nation that we've talked about, every single stream that we've ever done, I've always said, everyone who's been on has always said, when you're sat at a fire, just go up to anybody and just say, hi, I'm so and so from here. I'm new to Anvil. What's this about? What can you tell me about this or anything like that? Ask a question, and then you'll sit down. You'll generally find that you'll get 20 questions about your character, and then you can go on. You can go on from there, and it's a good way of getting
Yeah,
involved.
the thing I would say about Wintermark as well, specifically, is that we have something called the Moot, which is where big national announcements happen. Now, we are a big nation, so the Moot can drag on a bit. Someone will probably shout, "We are mooting!" And then everyone will gather in the Wintermark Square, and people will queue up to say their piece about different things. I know some people do sort of criticize the moot because they say, "Oh, it drags on, it's too long, too many people." The people who run it do a really good job of trying to keep everybody to stand up this side if what you can say is going to be said in less than 30 seconds. Stand up in this side if it's going to be longer. We'll do the short announcements first, so if people want to hear those and leave, they can. People who run it do a really good job of trying to keep it controlled and as short as possible. But
Yeah,
there are some things announced there that might be of interest to you, especially if you're new, and give you a feel for people you might not necessarily speak with. You can see how they talk in front of others, what kind of things are going on. Oh, actually, that thing might be interesting. I also announced something at the moot. You might be interested in the thing that I say, for example. So I would recommend going, especially as a new player. Some of the
yeah,
more experienced players don't bother because they already know what they want to do and they already know things that are happening. But if you're new, I think it's a good thing to go to the moot and hear the announcements.
yeah. You get a lot of stuff at the moods. I don't go to moot anymore. Um, but even like when I was in the Navarre, I didn't bother going to standing either because I already knew what I wanted to do. I've been playing Empire since the very, very beginning, so I kind of know what I want to get out of the game. Um, Unless you know someone who knows a lot of the stuff that's going on, you can go. The moot, in the moot, they generally call all the new people into the middle as well, and so everyone gets to see your face. So you'll get people who will come up to you after the moot as well and say, "Oh, do you want to? What are you interested in?" and stuff like that. Go and speak to this person. Do this, do this, do this. And so you do get a little bit of help like that as well. But go on.
They also run battle training in the Wintermark camp. Now, I don't fight at the moment. I'd like to in the future, but I've not done any battle training or anything. But I've heard it's quite good, especially if you're new. Mate, if that's something you want to do, you want to fight. Turning up to the Wintermark in character combat training is a nice way to give you a bit of confidence.
If you're fighting as well, there's also the new player skirmish that they do at the beginning. Definitely worth going along to. Yeah.
So the player skirmish is run by PD, and the Wintermark one is run by Wintermark players.
Yes. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's bald and he dies a lot. So, yeah, that's fine. Helen said, don't find Wintermark much different to other nations in regard of size influence in play. A lot of things scale with nation size, e.g. more generals to pester and more groups to talk to, so there's still plenty of game for everyone. Dawn's still got more generals. Yeah, but no one likes Dawn. So that's fine.
My friends are in Dawn.
Yeah, so am I. But yeah, so there's a lot of people to meet, and everyone's friendly. Let's face it, and you'll get an idea of who people are anyway, and who not to go and talk to. So as a new player as well, I would definitely say if you get questions about the orcs, go and have a chat with them as well. Yeah, they love questions. They really, really do, and it encourages roleplay there. Because something that we've discussed is people tend to stay away from the orcs due to intimidation, and they get the wrong idea. Go and have a chat with the orcs. I'm going to be saying this to everybody. Go and have a chat with the orcs. Go up there with a reason to go and have a chat with them. Go and have a chat with them, because it's epic roleplay. It's really, really good fun. So
The thing as well, in Wintermark, you're in a nice position because Wintermark have historically a good relationship with the orcs. Because, of various things in recent history that have happened, like we actually gift them one of our old territories that used to belong to Wintermark. It's now where the orcs live. So whereas some other nations are stereotypically quite racist against the orcs, Wintermark generally aren't. So you're in a nice position where you don't feel you're not going against the brief if you decide you want to be best friends with every orc. So if you want to go and chat to them and be friendly with them, like, you're in a really nice position to learn about them. Obviously still be respectful and stuff, it's still in character. You don't know these characters, but like I mean, character however you want, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
So I think you're in a good position to actually get to know them in character and for yourself out of character as well this way.
Yeah. Matt's asked, I've just had to skip down because I'm getting quite a way behind with chat now. Matt, regarding the Mystic Advisor role in nations, like a shaman in the Orc, priest in Highguard, and the Calivating Mystics in Wintermark, I've always expected to see every general and senator and archmage have their own personal advisor, giving them readings and ancestor advice during the big meetings, like deciding where the armies go or before big decisions are made. But it just seems to be one of those parts of the game that is lost in the ether. Yeah, I would love to see the generals do it and go up to people and ask for advice, get the more mystical side of it. It's like, for me, it's like, have you seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Sorry.
No, okay. There's a witch in that Prince John always goes running off to go, oh, this is happening, what do I do here? And she, like, put a bit of blood, some bones in a bowl, does a thing, mixes it around and goes, oh, do this, and stuff like that, and it's fantastic. So I would love to see more of that. I think Matt's hit the nail on the head there. I'd love to see more of that, but you don't see enough of it in play, unfortunately.
I wanted to go and warn the Calibating Senator character about something at the last event, and then it turned out they'd died, and we were like, well, who do we talk to now? Because we'd had a vision about something, and we wanted to go and give them the advice. But we didn't really know who to go to, and we kind of lost that opportunity.
Oh.
It would be nice to have people coming up to you and asking, I suppose.
Yeah, I think get a general to go into the rookery as well and do a goose whisper party and stuff like that, and then just get some advice and take it from there. Oh, yeah, character goals.
We should just go up to them and encourage them, like petition them in character. Like, we think you should do this. You're disrespecting our traditions. You're supposed to be Wintermark. Come and be wise with us.
I'm gonna go and drug every general. Not just Wintermark, every general in the field, every single one of them.
Oh my god!
It's that's goals right there. Coffee is Samunka's. Yeah, I think I missed that. Having said, I feel like runes are underutilized in Wintermark as well for how much they are mentioned in the Hearth magic. Joe says really they're on everything. They are on everything. But I don't think they're used in the way that you see like the shaman using them, where you have to stick your hand into his bucket and you get that sort of stone, because they're used they're very mystical and to get your hand stuck into, and just and get onto it. But I think there's a lot of stuff like that though. Because Coffee says it's annoying because the runes feel like a lot of the rest of the Empire used them to the point it doesn't feel that special. I'd agree with that as well. Runes have been taken by everyone. I had runes on my kit in the Navarre.
I had an interesting conversation at the Pledge Ball with someone from Arisen, and and I mentioned rune magic because I have rune stones.
Yeah.
I've got a set of rune stones, and I invoke the power of the runes in my actions as well. I actually speak of the runes too, doing magic. And I was talking about it, and she was like, she made the comment about how it was very primitive and the stars were so much better. It was a really good interaction. Like, in character, I was a bit offended, but out of character, like, this is such a great interaction because being very snobby about Arisen magic being much better than the runes.
Yeah, I like the rune game myself, but I think it's going to be each to their own at the end of the day, isn't it? It's everyone that that's because they are inherently magical. We put them on everything. That's how our hearth magic works, even on a loaf of bread. Please tell me there are runic pancakes. Yeah, I don't think I come across runes enough in play, to be honest. I might not be looking for it hard enough, I guess. I don't know. Matt asked, sorry if this question has been asked, I only came in 30 minutes down the stream. As Wintermarkers, what advice can you give people new and old to avoid the Wintermark Viking trope?
Trope.
I'd say watch Vikings and don't do that.
Yeah.
That'll be one. Wintermark simply aren't Vikings. You need to read the brief. You need to read everything that they do, and then take it from there. They don't have. Oh, they're just. I suppose because it's difficult because I play one, so I'm not. I know that they're not. They aren't Vikings. Look, they need to look. Watch the Two Towers. Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. They're more. You got the Rohirrim there. Watch. There's another film I can't think what it's called.
In the Steiner are more like your Rohirrim, your fantasy dwarfs. Some of the costume parts overlap with Viking style, but in terms of the behavior and stuff like that, they're very much not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Uh,
Still,
so I'm just scrolling down
my
now.
experience, the Spino are quite a bit more calm. Quite a lot calmer than some of these. No, I'm sometimes quite grumpy.
Oh, it's easy. It's good to. Grumpy's good. I find for. I'm not grumpy. I'm always on something, so it's difficult to be grumpy. This is an interesting. You'll like this one. And do you prefer the 3 rings or the 3 tiers to represent the nation, and why?
Like both, but if I have to choose, I'm going to say the 3 tiers, and that is because the tiers specifically are part of the actual story behind the unification of Wintermark.
Okay.
The 3 rings still represent the 3 peoples, but the 3 tiers. Do you know the story behind that?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I prefer the 3 rings myself. I think it's because that's what I've always known for Wintermark. So
I
I'm
think the rings
old-fashioned.
look better to me. Like, I prefer how they look. I don't choose symbols based on how they look. I choose them based on something more to it. But I think the 3 rings are perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But if I was going to use that symbol, I would aim towards more the tier shapes.
It said they're pretty sure the General of the Fist does the mystical sort of things. He might do it inside his own area then, because I've never seen him do that. Because I hang around the generals quite a lot because I'm looking to move into becoming a general. So that's it. I've always wanted to see some mad crow person walk into the military council, chuck a bag of runes and trinkets onto the battle mat, and then advise the Wintermark generals based on how the runes landed. That would make my event. That would. I would fight people if they tried to stop a mad Calavesi or anyone like that just doing it. I would fight someone to protect him. That's awesome. That's a really good. Oh, see, Matt Calavesi at heart, mate. You're really a Wintermarker. And of course, we're being drugged up. Actually, affect the competence of Wintermark generals. Ooh, low blow. The generals are good. It's difficult to manage so many people in the battlefield. Do you take the battlefield yourself?
Asking me or
Yeah, you. Evelyn, you.
I don't.
You don't. Okay.
Non-combat.
It's.
I run the chill out dance sessions for when you come off the battlefield. You come back to Wintermark, and I make you dance.
Dance club.
Calavesi dance. I run the Calavesi dance club.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff.
Or even Wintermark.
Cool. The generals are good. It's the amount of people they have to manage. That's the tough part of it. So I'm so glad you're swimming, not been so good mentally, but it's good to be back. Good. It's good to have you back, Liam, mate. I know a question that would annoy Nurism to no end. I like those sorts of questions. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. I think we're getting yes. Always Goose Whisper. 3 people, 1 nation. Let's. Mad Calavesi. So then I'm aiming for the Mad Calavesi. They can't stop a team of 5 people walking in and doing RP ritual. See that people don't do it because I think a lot of players will think that they can't do that sort of thing within the game. I think there are a lot of people who will think, well, I want to do this. This will be cool. but I think it's difficult for players to go, well, I'm going to do this step because I might get into a lot of trouble. So I think it's actually taking that step and just being able to say, I don't care what happens to me. I'm just going to do this because this is what my character will do and this will be fun. A lot of people worry a little bit too much. Gaming nurse, I think a lot of people get intimidated, to be honest. Yeah, I completely agree. And going into the military council, when you got, it's quite a big tent, you get quite a lot of people in there as well. I would be quite happy to do it myself. I don't care. But at the moment, it's not Mac's place to do it. Mac is still very, very young as a Calavesi, but I think there are a lot of Calavesi out there who want to do it. So I might have to start poking them and see if I can persuade, if I can get a murder of Calavesi together. A murder of Calavesi together.
One of my hall mates, because we're a predominantly Calavesi hall at the moment.
Yeah.
Something with the military. I don't know if he helps lead skirmishes or what he does, but he does something. We actually put you in touch with him. I don't know.
A reckoning of Calavesi.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one too.
That's quite leaguish though, isn't it? Because they have this whole thing called Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, but no one likes the league, so no one will care. You see what I mean? It's a running thing here. Where was it? There was something that I saw. Coffee said, I've just realised I've pulled members of both your halls out of the fire. I don't know who Coffee is.
I do. You know who it is. Am I allowed to say who he is? Am I allowed to reveal his identity?
Well, he's in chat, so he can reveal it himself. So yeah, we are. The fact that one of the biggest wars is over your land right now is the perfect justification for a bunch of people storming into the military council and demanding an audience. Yeah, I am 100% on agreeing with you on this one, Matt. I think the problem, this would just come back to Wintermark being so big, is that people are feeling kind of intimidated by the size of it all, because there's some very established players in groups, and I think my camera's just froze.
I can still hear you, so that's
alright. I'll turn my camera off and then turn it back on again. Let's go for that. There we go. So I think that's the thing there, because it's a lot of new players as well. But to be honest, I suppose I should say, my job should be exactly what I was about to say there, Matt. I'm going to start to grab some people and say this is what we should be doing, and then just say, get a load of you together, go and do it. This is what you want to do. This is how you want to do runes. This is what you want to do rituals. You want to encourage like this. Just go and do it. And so, what's the worst that's going to happen? The militia will turn up, and you'll have to pay 5 rings. Oh well, never mind. Alfred. That's Coffee. Alfred. I can barely remember my own name half the time when I'm in play, so you'll have to tell me what you.
I can't remember what hall he's from. We met because he was I don't know if we met before that, but there was a tournament in the Brass Coast and he was fighting in it. A bunch of us were watching, and he was like the only Wintermarker fighting in it, so I was all like, Alfred! Like going crazy. Like.
Excellent.
And that's how we met.
Yeah, so Alfred, you'll have to tell us who you actually are. So swishing is solely 375. Rattle and clunk with all your bones. Yeah. See, I'm going to be going more furs and the animal totem things. I'm even contemplating getting a bear ornament thing to wear and stuff. So it'll be that'll be quite. It could be quite fun. Their headdress is wicked. Yeah, that's what's really got me. I've seen Darren Stocker, regular props. He's making some. And he's got a bear one there. I think it's like 135 quid, something like that. So I can't afford that at the moment. There was a group of warriors that had them a whole, but yes, yeah, there were. I think they're all in Brass Coast now. I think they all died. So yeah, Alfred seemed to be Stormcry of Ambition of Oxengard. I fell hard on my ass in that too. I will there we go. Someone's proud of you. I still don't know who you are. I will know you when I see you. That's the sort of that's the way I am. So I do apologise if that's rude. Just as said, Pocket Watch, Tankard Twang is his companion. Gaming us, animal totems. Yes. See, I love that side of it, and just like and having something like that. Steve has the memory of a snail. I really do. I do apologise.
A totem of a snail.
I'm going to start to head to battle for E4 next year. I'm going to start walking now, and that snail has been stepped on. Thanks, son. Yeah, so Matt said Matt's put the link in for the totem magic part of it there. So have a read of that if you're interested. It's really interesting stuff. I hate all forms of magic in any game, but that really piqued my interest and my curiosity. So anyone wanting to adopt a Calavasi that doesn't have a hall after 5 events? See, our hall is not recruiting, unfortunately. But I know a few halls that are, and they unfortunately listen to Mac. So I'm pretty sure I could find you a hall quite easily. Just come over to Hurst Hall and. Sorry, there's a little thing. What's the big thing in the centre of Wintermark? It looks like a tree thing that the moon happens around. It's the name of the it's the name of the heroes, not the dead. I thought it had the dead on it for some reason.
People who've been named for heroic deeds. Scop.
Yeah, that's the Scop thing, isn't it? I'll find you against even though we can't have you, never enough Calavasi friends. So, yeah, so that's. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on within Wintermark. We've talked about the Tree of Names is heroes. Some are dead, but some are very much alive. The Tree of Names. It's not really a tree, though, is it? It's more of a stick with leaves on it.
That's a tree enough.
Well, no.
It's figurative, isn't it? Imagine a full tree.
Symbolic tree. It's hard to have a real tree. We're next to the woods. I want someone to bring a little bonsai tree. Just plonk it down and things attached to it. Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great. Oh no. This is why my characters never really amount to much. So, does there need to be more discussion about the dead and heroes in Wintermark? Some have the misconception that just dying makes you a hero. That's a good point. That is a good point. I've seen a lot of Wintermarkers die, and they've done really dumb things. And if that makes them a hero, then being dumb should be a virtue. So it's... I do... the whole culture around naming needs to change. Yeah. I think there should be a lot more... I mean, I've got people named for stuff that I've challenged them to do, which was quite good. But I think it could do with a bit more definition.
I named someone for something because I'm a Scop as well. Named someone for some. I've named 3 people for things that they did, kind of a mixture of on and off the battlefield. There was one person it was completely 100% off the battlefield thing, and I named him the Generous after I was requested by 2 people to name him for a generous thing he did. That's quite cool.
Yeah, I think the whole thing we could do with a bit of tweaking. I'd say, like I said, judging by the symbolic nature of Suak art, I'd say it's a great example of Suak interpretive art of a tree. Don't encourage them, Matt. Don't encourage them. They don't need it. It's Liam's asked how does the naming work? It's for deeds. It's you do something that's deemed great or virtuous or anything like that within Wintermark, and it's watched by anyone really, and then they find a scop and they tell the scop the story, and then the scop will say, yeah, this is how it's worked. Because I think it's also it can also be a negative thing, can't it? The naming, you could be named something pretty bad. So I think someone's been named a coward.
Have heard of that happening, but usually it's more for when someone does something really heroic that stands out. Yeah, the important thing about it is that it has a story. There has to be so when the scop names the person, you don't just quietly and in private sort of name them. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I'm now going to call you. But now, not just Dwayne Johnson, but The Rock. I've named you as a scop. There has to be a bit of an audience. There has to be a witness. Besides the person being named as well, there has to be someone to hear the story besides the scop and the hero.
So Matt's posted the link for naming. So a scop tells your story of heroism and grants you your name as a reward. It also affects the person's sky. You may be getting mixed up with the priest's testimony, which can be used for good or bad. Hero names are a reward for heroic action. And heroic, there's a non-Wintermark physic on the field with an amazing story to their name. I think this is why it needs to get cleared up, because I've definitely heard a scop give someone a negative name. Definitely. I'll have to find out who it is, and then probably then contact PD about it, because that's an interesting one. That's a very, very interesting one. So yeah, definitely needs a bit of clarification there then. Players don't always get it right here. No, exactly. I think that's the thing for the wiki though, isn't it? There's a lot of egregore best protocol. Okay, I'll leave it for being an IC thing then, because they've definitely told me IC. I just have to. I'll know them when I see them, because I won't be able to remember their name. So it needs clarifying for sure, definitely. So okay, so how would we go? Hour and 20. You're doing pretty. This is. I think this is when I did the virtues chat, it sort of led into me thinking, wow, I need to do another 20 of these. And I think Wintermark is definitely going to lead into that as well, that sort of thing. I'm going to probably do another one, maybe 2, when it comes to Wintermark. So we'll get some more people. We'll probably get another couple of people to do this, and then we can go on. So Evelyn, so if you fancy joining me again to do another stream and get another couple of people on, that would be really, really cool. So the merch, as I was asking Ben's question from the beginning. It's 15 quid for a t-shirt, basically. Just chuck us a message on Facebook if you want one, and then I can get it sorted out. So I think I've got 20 of them. So, but yeah, they're a bit of fun. But no, this has been really, really good. As I say, thanks everyone for. That's for the Larp chats, mate. That's not for nation chats. So that's the Larp. That's a Larp chat. I'll have to find out the sizes for you. But I need big sizes for me because I'm not small. So we'll do some more of this. So yeah, as I say, thanks for coming back to watch and stuff like that. Obviously, last week I was ill and yeah, not a good headspace. So it's all a bit. So, but I'm back to them. I'm doing another stream on Thursday, I think, and I'm going to do one, and it's going to be on fighty things. So we're going to talk about battles and fighting and stuff like that. So it'll be, yeah. So chuck us a message on Facebook and stuff like that, and then we can go on from there. So thanks everyone for watching. I think Facebook is playing silly buggers because when I put it out, nothing really got. It didn't seem to be advertised at all, the stream. So, but I am planning on getting back to my 3 streams a week and going on from there and doing as much as I can and everything like that. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I hope you've had a laugh. Thank you, Matt, for posting the links. So, yeah, we'll get this all done. And yeah, a Calavasi dance-off. I think will probably be needed. It won't be me. All I do is I do the worm, and then I'm done. So you know, don't worry, Matt. It's fine, mate. You're here. That's the main thing, and you've helped. And it's as always. Everyone who asks questions, it's always productive, and it creates an interesting bit of chat and an interesting talking points. It's been really good. And I think an email to PD to say we need to have a look at the naming stuff. So I think that's going to be a good thing. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed Tarek singing at the beginning. Yeah, and we'll get this all done again, and I might stream during the day tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Go like that. So I've got feeling a lot better now. So everyone take care. Have a good evening. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.